What's up, y'all? We're back today with another video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I appreciate it. Today, we're going over VHS, autographed. The VHS aren't autographed, by the way. We got some autographed DVD covers and a whole bunch of autographed DVDs we're going to go over. So let's hop on into the VHS. First off, these are in no order either. They're all over the place. From 1997, we have In Your House Final Four from Chattanooga, Tennessee. The Final Four. I know y'all remember this match. Old heads remember this. It was really good. Vader got split wide open. Also in here we have Mark Merrill versus Leif Cassidy, who's Al Snow. Goldust, Bart Gunn, and Flash Funk down versus Farouk and the Nation. We got an IC title match between Rocky Maivia and Triple H. Tag team championship match, Owen Hart and British Bulldog versus LaFon and Furnace. So this old school In Your House. It's actually, this match is, I love this match. Just saying. Next up, we have World Championship Wrestling, never before seen footage, NWO for life. The official biography of the most powerful force in wrestling, narrated by Eric Bischoff. This ain't nothing special. If you're my age, everybody and their mother has shit like this. So, on the back it says, "Thank you, know the NWO. Finally get the real deal on the most dangerous faction in the history of wrestling." And NWO, narrated by Bischoff. This in-your-face profile follows the NWO from its earth-shattering 96 to its invincible total global domination that changes wrestling forever. Slam-packed with interviews and never-before-seen footage from the pay-per-views, WCW Monday Nitro and Thunder. Like I said, nothing special, but there you go. Alright, next up, we have Survivor Series. Deadly Game. I know y'all remember this one. It's from 98. On the back here, we got one night, one championship, Deadly Game. The Deadly Game tournament to determine the new World Wrestling Federation champ. Mankind, Mystery Opponent, Al Snow, Jeff Jarrett, Kane, Steve Austin, Big Boss Man, X-Pac, Undertaker, Steven Regal, Ken Shamrock, Goldust, The Rock, and Triple H. Damn. We got a triple threat match for the tag titles. Outlaws versus Headbangers versus D-Lo and Mark Henry. Old school Survivor Series. Alright, right here. This VHS used to go for a pretty penny. I don't know if it, probably not anymore, I'm sure. This is the Montreal Screwjob, Survivor Series 1997. I'm a big Bret Hart fan, but I'm not going to go in depth. You know the deal on this one. But this used to be a high dollar VHS. That's Gemini. Alright, this VHS, I don't know where the hell it came from. It's a World's Greatest Wrestling Series, Randy the Macho Man Savage, the missing matches. This isn't a WWE release. Yeah, I'm not sure what's on here. It says Macho Man and first off, the back of it's wrong. It says Macho Man and Larry Poffo. Who the fuck is Larry Poffo? I know who Lanny Poffo is. Never heard of Larry. Is he like the missing brother? But anyway, they're taking on the Rock and Roll Express, the Fabulous Blondes versus the PYT Express. I don't know where this came from. Alright, we got an old school one here. I mean, I'm talking Crockett Cup 88. Is this the tag? I think this might be the tag team tournament. I can't remember shit. But Crockett Cup 88. Let's see, next up. Let's get some of these over. This is going to be a long video. The Ultimate Warrior Collector Series. 60 action-packed minutes, y'all. This is one of these. This is one of these joints right here. Where if you was a kid in like 1990, you not only did you have to have it, but these bad boys like this, you put it in the VCR, let it play, and you just go with your Hasbros, man. Real talk. That's what you do. Ultimate Warrior. And before I go any further, I'm going to have to make this 2 videos. I'll go ahead and let you know now, because this is going to be long and I don't want y'all to fall asleep. All right. King of the Ring 93. We all know the deal here. Hogan and Yokozuna. This was Hogan's last match in WWF until the early 2000s. I can't remember if it was still WWF when at WrestleMania 18. I can't remember. I'm not sure. You'd have to Google that shit. But King of the Ring 93, where Yoko wins the belt back. Never really understood why he took it at 9 anyway. But I'm a Hogan fan, but I don't get that. Of course, this was one of my this also was like, this was the first King of the Ring where like they made it a pay-per-view tournament. Like they had more back in the day in the 80s, but it was never like a big pay-per-view deal. This was the first one. You know I'm a fan for it because Bret Hart won the King of the Ring tournament. But here's some of the guys. Here's the matches in the King of the Ring. First round, we got Bret Hart and Razor Ramon, Mr. Perfect and Mr. Hughes, Duggan and Bigelow, and Tatanka and Luger. And Bret Hart goes over on Bigelow in the final. We also have an IC title match. HBK defends his title against Crush. An 8-man tag team Mega Man match. We have the Smoking Guns versus the Steiners versus Money Inc. versus Head Shrinkers. Those are some good teams. That should have been a way better match. Personally, now people have different types of when their favorite year was or whatever. 1989 was like the first year that I watched wrestling on a religious basis type deal every week, you know. But one of my favorite events of all time, SummerSlam '89. Y'all know him as Devo. I know him as Zeus. Rest in peace. SummerSlam '89. Feel the heat. I love this event. One of my all-time favorite events ever. I'm surprised this case is still in this good shape. SummerSlam '89. Feel the heat. Our main event. I actually have the poster. When I show you the more pictures and shit, we'll get to it. But you know the main event. We got Hogan and Beefcake versus Zeus and Macho Man Savage. IC title match. We got Rick Rude versus Warrior. 6-man tag match. Big Demolition and King Duggan versus the Twin Towers and Andre. Dusty Rhodes versus the Honky Tonk Man. Jimmy Snuka versus Ted DiBiase. The Brainbusters versus the Hart Foundation. If I'm correct, that's the opening match. And that motherfucker goes hard. Excuse my language, but love that match. The Red Rooster versus Mr. Perfect. Hercules versus Greg Valentine. Tito Santana and the Rockers versus Martel and the Fabulous Rougeaus. This Tito Santana Rick Martel thing, that feud to me just never made sense. Like, they built it up, and they never had like that big singles match, which they probably should have did on this event. But SummerSlam '89, one of my favorites. All right, this one, sorry, the case fell apart. Pretty cheap. This comes from Kmart back in 1990. This is Bone Crushers. This is a WCW. This is a WCW tape of like, it's nothing of them. Like, it's a highlight of all the tag teams that they've had. It's actually pretty good, but it's just really short. But it's called Bone Crushers. Sorry, there's no cover or anything. All right, this next VHS was my first ever VHS. I can't believe that the paper's still on it. This is WrestleMania V. the Mega Powers explode. A lot of smart marks try to knock this, but this was one. I love this event. I mean, damn, it's got like 3,500 matches on it. We got Hogan versus Savage for the title. We got Jake the Snake versus Andre. Big John Studd's the special guest referee. We got the Barber versus the $1 Million Man. Duggan versus Bad News Brown. The Red Rooster versus Bobby the Brain Heenan. The Rockers. Hold on, where we go? The Rockers versus the Twin Towers. Hercules versus Haku. The Bushwhackers versus the Fabulous Rougeaus. Real quick, the Bushwhackers versus the Fabulous Rougeau brothers was the first live WWF match I ever seen. I know it's nothing special, but I was just letting you know. We got the Blue Blazer versus Mr. Perfect. One of the most underrated WrestleMania matches ever, and it never gets talked about. It was one of my favorite matches on this show, and if you pay close attention and have watched this event 100 times, this is the one where Mr. Perfect about breaks his neck on the steps when he comes to the ring. We got the Hart Foundation versus Valentine and Honky Tonk Man. Ronnie Garvin versus Dino Bravo. Who gave a fuck? Strike Force versus the Brainbusters. This is where Martel turns heel on Tito. Good shit. We have. All right, I was at this is the only WCW event I ever went to. It was here in Louisville, down at Freedom Hall. WCW Uncensored, 1999. Hogan and Flair in the cage. This is Hogan's in the Wolfpack at this time, I believe. Yeah. And they have in the first blood match where Arn cheats for Flair. Steiner, Booker T, Chris Jericho, Saturn in a dog collar match. David and Goliath, Kevin Nash versus Rey Mysterio. There was also a hardcore match on there between Sandman, Bigelow, and Raven. Lots of good matches on that show. I had a blast at this, but I had to get it right after I went, you know. Alright, up next, another old one I've had forever. Austin 316 Uncensored. A lot of people had this. Has there ever been a more over guy in the wrestling business than Steve Austin? I don't think so. Hogan might have put it on the map, but Austin brought it back from the dead and kept it there, you feel me? The whole time he was there. Steve Austin Uncensored. Alright, one of my personal favorites, man. Anybody knows me knows I'm a big Bret Hart fan. This is Coliseum Home Video presents the Hart Foundation. This is dope. It's got the big old school thick case. 80s. You hear me? Great 80s. The WWF Tag Team Champions, Jim the Anvil Neidhart and Bret Hitman Hart, managed by Jimmy Hart, the Mouth of the South. Great stuff. The complete history of their strange friendship with ex-referee Danny Davis, a never-before-seen visit to the offices of the Hart Foundation, see the Harts take on the British Bulldogs, the Killer Bees, the Rougeau brothers, and more. The Harts joined by the Honky Tonk Man versus JYD, Tito, and Davey Boy Smith. The Hitman Hart in individual competition against Ricky Steamboat, plus much more. Love this, man. Alright, we got two more. Starrcade 85, The Gathering. The superpowers collide to make wrestling history. Here's a little bit of what we got on here. First off, it says, from the major leagues of pro wrestling, the superpowers collide in Starrcade 85, the most thrilling night in wrestling history. Sam Houston versus Crusher Khrushchev for the Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Championship. The Raging Bull Manny Fernandez versus Abdullah the Butcher in a Mexican death match. It's hard to see on this one. We have Cowboy Ron Bass versus Black Bart in the Battle of the Bull Rope. Superstar Billy Graham versus the Barbarian. Terry Taylor versus Nature Boy Buddy Landell for the National Heavyweight Championship. The Minnesota Wrecking Crew. Ole and Arn Anderson versus Wahoo McDaniel and Billy Jack Haynes for the National Tag Team Championship. Jimmy Valiant and Miss Atlanta Lively versus the Midnight Express in an Atlanta street fight. The Rock and Roll Express versus the Russians in the cage for the World Tag Team Championship. There's a lot of shit on here. Tully Blanchard versus Magnum TA for the U.S. Heavyweight Championship in an I Quit match. That's a classic. I love that match. Ric Flair versus Dusty Rhodes for the World Heavyweight Championship. It's an iconic event. This another 80s, straight 80s case. You hear me? Straight 80s. Alright. Alright, then the last one we have WrestleMania III. This is in the big black 80s deal here. WrestleMania III. I mean, I know WrestleMania 1 and 2 were big, but to me, WrestleMania 3 just did it for me. They put it on the map. So many iconic moments. I could go on and on. But it says here, WrestleMania 3, bigger, better, and badder. Hulk Hogan versus Andre. You know, this is pretty much where Andre pretty much made Hogan the man. Go back and watch the Andre doc. It came out a couple years ago, and they'll tell you all about that. I'm not going to do it. WrestleMania 3. You want to know some of the matches? Here's some of the matches. Just listen to some of the names, the Hall of Famers, and some of the guys that are no longer with us. We have Coco Beware versus Butch Reed. The Killer Bees versus Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov. The Can-Am Connection. This is when it was Tom Zink and Martel. Or Santana. So Martel, I don't remember. Does it matter? Martel, excuse me. Versus Morocco and Bob Orton. The Rougeau Brothers versus Valentine and Beefcake. Hillbilly Jim and the Haiti Kid and Lil Beaver versus King Kong Bundy, Lil Tokyo, and Lord Littlebrook. Jake the Snake versus Honky Tonk Man. This is, of course, where Jake the Snake had Alice Cooper in his corner. Billy Jack Haynes versus Hercules. The Hart Foundation and Danny Davis versus the British Bulldogs and Tito Santana. Humiliation match. JYD versus Harley Race. Randy Savage versus Ricky Steamboat for the IC. One of the best matches ever. Retirement match, Rowdy Piper versus Adrian Adonis. This is where Brutus the Barber Beefcake is born. And Hogan and Andre. So, there you go. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's long. That's why I'm going to make it 2. But that's a VHS collection. I dug them out of the storage, you feel me? But I just wanted to share those with you. But I'll see y'all next time. Peace.